is Shekinah Yuhanna. I'm 24 and I'm currently a digital marketing coordinator at a dance organisation. It's like a non-for-charity dance organisation. We do dance classes, performances, and I work mostly on the website, social media, to create content to market our shows and kind of the little behind-the-scenes stuff we do with artists and young people. To get into the creative industries and my inspiration, it was, my personal use of social media. So I use it to take pictures of myself, my friends, my family. I used it from a very young age with like MSN, MySpace, to Facebook, to Twitter, to Instagram. And I think growing up, I just saw how you can use that beyond personal use. You can use it to push certain things to people, share stories. And that really like inspired me to kind of get into the behind the scenes of that. Not necessarily be in the front and be like the influencer, but to kind of be behind that and gather their stories and share that through social media. So that was definitely my inspiration. My initial start in social media was to literally talk to my friends. So like MSN, I used to use that all the time. And then with things like MySpace and Tumblr, you could like personalize the way your page looked with pictures, GIFs, themes, and that really kickstarted it in terms of creativity, in that you could personalize your page. And then it kind of went into the aesthetics of it. So like the fact that you could create your own blog with different type of pictures, whether it was pictures you were taking yourself or pictures that you'd find on the internet, and that was really cool to me. And then moving to like Instagram and Facebook, the fact that, like I said, you could like share stories on there and you could write a post about anything you wanted to write, I think that really inspired me to be able to work with other people and use social media in that sense, rather than just like me posting pictures of my food or something like that. So how I got involved in the creative industries, I actually went to uni and I studied sociology, and when I left uni, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know how I wanted to use my degree, and I literally used to just spend ages like searching on the internet on I used to just type digital jobs, because I knew something in me is what I wanted to do digitally. And then I came across digital marketing, and I did a little bit more research on that, like what that is and what that entails and how to get into it. And I found out that I had to get a qualification for that, and the best way for that for me at the time was an apprenticeship. I didn't want to like go back to college or anything like that. Like I wanted to work and get a wage and also learn. So apprenticeship seemed the best way for me to get into that. So the next step in my quest for an apprenticeship was I actually had an interview for one place, and I don't know, I feel like the interview went well, but I didn't get it, which was fine. But what I learned from that is I took from the initial interview, because it was my first interview and it was for, again, a digital apprenticeship that I didn't know about. I just took from that interview and I learned from it. I just learned to be more confident in myself and to know that where I'm at and what I'm applying for, I do actually have the skills for it. And I remembered that I wasn't meant to have everything straight away, because this isn't something that I've done before. I'm actually interviewing to do something, to learn and to gain more skills in the creative industry. So I had one more interview after that for a place called Xchange, and it was actually in something that I've previously done before. So I used to be a dancer, I used to like compete, I used to be in a crew, and actually Dance Xchange is a dance organisation. So actually it melded a lot better with my previous hobbies and experiences, but just in a different avenue, which would have been digital marketing. So if I can say, any advice that I would give is definitely look for things that actually match with your hobbies, and don't feel so disheartened if you go for something that's out of your comfort zone and you actually don't get it, because there is literally a plethora of different organisations and things out there that match your hobbies, whether it's art or clothing design, and I didn't know that beforehand. So I think that's definitely a takeaway from that stage of me applying for an apprenticeship. During my apprenticeship, I learned so many things. I learned things that I never knew that I would ever do. So for example, I learned actual technical skills like coding. I got actual qualification in that, and that's to do with like working with websites and like the basic build of a website, and that was a really fun to learn. And that's actually something that I've taken, and although I don't build websites, when I'm working with like web developers, I know that little bit of information and that knowledge, and that really helps working in those type of situations. And then I learned other things like time management skills and organisational skills. Doing an apprenticeship while working and coursework and exams can be quite like daunting to think of, but I learned how to like manage my time, whether that was put a day out in my working day to just solely work on my coursework and stuff like that. I also learned other design technical kind of skills, such as how to take pictures for content for social media. It's a whole like thing. So I really learned how to use like cameras and like little things like adding a little lens on your iPhone or like a gimbal to like create movement and stuff like that. And I never thought that I would learn things like that. I thought it was all going to be like behind the computer, just typing stuff up, putting stuff out. So I really am able to get creative in there, and I learned how to put my creative spin on stuff as well, which is really great because sometimes you might feel a bit bogged down and feel like you're just getting told what to do, and I feel like I've been able to add my own little spice into stuff, which is really good and really great. After my apprenticeship, pretty much straight away I kind of came into that digital marketing role. I actually got kept on with the organisation that I did my apprenticeship with, which originally wasn't meant to happen, but during the pandemic I feel like I can say I did put a lot of effort and put a lot into the business and the organisation and came out great on the other side. So I think that kind of went along with them keeping me on. So yeah, pretty much straight away I was given quite important roles within the organisation, and I think from my apprenticeship that relationship was built through there, which I think gave them the confidence to do that. So I was talking to dance tutors, for example, and having one-on-one meetings with them and coming up with content creation without having to have like a senior member there with me, and I felt like that was really good, and that made me feel a lot more confident into going into my role proper full-time as well. So yeah, pretty much straight away. What I would, like I said, during my apprenticeship, I feel like you've got to get in there, so feel confident you're there, like they've accepted you, like they can see your potential yourself, and definitely talk to other people in the organisation, not just people in your team. So for instance, I had a marketing team, but I would talk to people from participation or finance. I would also talk to the people that we worked with, whether that was dance tutors, artists, young people. I would have conversations with them, talk to them, and just build that relationship and that trust, and show that, because that shows that you want to be ingrained, you want to be integrated, and that you know what you're doing, basically. And I think that definitely helped me moving forward when I got a full-time job role, because again, that relationship was there. Yeah, so I think it's really important for people like us to be in these digital creative spaces, and because I think we bring a lot of diversity and difference from our cultures into these spaces, different mindsets and different outlooks. As the kind of only black woman in my organisation, I definitely feel like I bring something different and I bring something new and a different outlook that I don't think they would have had before. So it's definitely important to get into those spaces and to just be there and put your foot in the door, because it will definitely be appreciated, and it's definitely very, very important for us to be seen and heard. To get to where I am, I think I gave a lot of time. That was the biggest thing for me. I did work like jobs that I didn't want to do, like I worked in retail or customer service jobs that was a bit grating, but I actually learned a lot from there as well. And there was a lot of late nights, while coming home from work and doing my online courses for free, just to like build up that repertoire. And that takes a lot of time, that takes a lot of effort, but it is definitely worth it. Yeah, so in my role as a digital marketer, it is really important to stay on top of the trends. Every 6 months, things change. For example, what's considered great engagement, which means good results for your content on social media, that changes every 6 months. So to keep on top and just to stay great on my personal development, I would say keep an eye on the trends. This is using things such as like Twitter or LinkedIn to just have a look on like what's the trending news, what's doing well in your topic, which mine would be digital marketing. Also, use things like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter's, what would you call it? You would call it they have like a business suite, and on these business suites, they keep you up to date with blogs and trends and what's great, what's popping. Definitely keep up on there, because these are the actual social media sites that I'm using. So what's what's not best to listen to what they think is working well for their social media. I think that's really good. And also things like courses, seminars by digital organisations or other arts or organisations that are in your role, I think is really important on my personal development. I get to talk to other people who are in the same industry as me and get to see what they're using, and we get to like share and, you know, bump heads about different things. So it's all about talking, networking, and just keeping on top of your digital trends by using digital websites. And I think, yeah, that's how I do it. Do your own research. I think that's really important. So my advice that I would give to anybody or myself 3 or 4 years ago would definitely do your own research. It's great to like listen to maybe teachers or whatever and the avenues that they're telling you, but there is so much more stuff out there, and I literally learnt that from Google. So like I said, I went to uni. Nobody in uni told me that you could do an apprenticeship. I found that out on my own. So I definitely think it's very important to go out on your own and find out those things, and you will really see that there's just so much stuff out there that you can get involved in that you never knew you could. So yeah, trust yourself and have confidence in yourself and what you find, and yeah, you'll go far, I think.